Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Power of Vision Masterclass. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Dawn Huppy. I'm the owner of Liberty Belle Coaching, and my life coaching certifications came through the Brave Thinking Institute. You made the decision to join me in this masterclass, and it is my intention that you leave here today knowing 3 tools that can help you achieve your goals and dreams even faster than you ever imagined. I'd like you to have greater clarity on what those dreams are and to feel even more confident in the power that lives within you so that you can achieve your goals and dreams. Now, to do this, I'll share a story that will help us to take the first step. And I'm going to share my screen before I tell the story. Here we go. There. Now for the story. A mother mouse was leading her 3 children through a house when all of a sudden they came around the corner and saw a cat. The cat was about to attack, and the mother mouse said in a very loud voice, "Ruff, ruff, ruff," and the cat ran away. The mother mouse turned to her babies and said, "That is the power of learning more than one language." Why this story matters to you is because today we are going to be looking at the language of success. This is the language that will bring our dreams into reality. There is a pattern, a system, a way of doing things that creates the results that you want. And once you consciously understand what that language is, then you can apply it to any area of your life that you want to improve. That is what the Dream Builder program is all about, learning a new language of success for life. Do you have a goal or a dream that you would like to achieve, or maybe you have some area of your life that you would like to improve? Have you ever achieved a goal in your life, and when you first had that goal, you didn't really know how you were going to get there? I think we can all say that this is true for us. And that proves the point. You are capable of far more than you know. And the Dream Builder program helps you to tap into all of that capability. Life is certainly not done with you yet. My intentions for today are 3 different things. First, I'm going to give you 3 tools to help you achieve your goals. Secondly, I want to help you gain greater clarity on your goals and dreams. And lastly, to feel even more confident in your ability. Let's take a minute here and ask ourselves, what challenge is going on in my life right now? Is there some area of your life that's causing you pain? Is it in your health? Is it in your job? Maybe you don't have enough free time. Or maybe you have some issues going on with your finances. We live in a universe that speaks our dreams and goals to us through 2 signals. And those signals are longing. The first one, when we long for something, that's a signal to us that we want something more. This is not a bad thing. This is actually a good thing to notice. When we're longing for something, this is telling us, I want something to be different here. I want more. Now, the other signal for growth is discontent. When we look at our lives and we say, you know what, I don't really like what's going on in this area of my life. I'm not very content with it. I had this situation going on for probably quite a while, but it got to the point where I thought, I'm not really satisfied with my relationships with my children. I want to have a deeper connection. I want to have a stronger connection. I want to have a more loving connection. I was discontent with our connection. What did I do? Well, I noticed that this was a signal for growth. So I hired a parenting coach. My kids are, let's see, how old are they? They're close to 40. They're around 40 and 41, I think they are. Somewhere in there. Anyway, I should know that, but I don't want to take time to figure that out right now. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're 3, if they're 8, 18, or 40. We want to have that nice, secure, loving bond. And I was not feeling it. I knew there was more. My discontent was saying, let's do something different. And I've been working with this coach. Let's see, I think we've had 3 sessions so far. There's a huge shift already for me with all the work that we're doing and I'm doing. So the feeling of longing for something we haven't yet created and the feeling of discontentment with our current circumstances are the feelings that spark us to grow. You can be pushed by pain and you can be pulled by a vision. These two energies, the pain of your problem and the desire for what you want, are essential for creating something different, for creating different results. I want to share a time in my life where pain caused me to make a change. It actually pushed me to make a very big change. As some of you might know, in the fall of 2020, I was feeling so frustrated and how do I label it? Just exasperated at all of the restrictions and the requirements at my job in the private school where I worked. We all know what was going on in 2020, and we all know what they were attempting to force us to do. Well, I was not going to be forced into doing any of that nonsense. I was feeling terrible about complying because I know when I comply with things that don't line up with my values, things go really bad for me. No, I was not going to risk that. On our final day of in-service, when the new restrictions were delivered, I made a decision. I decided that my job was coming to an end that very day. No, I didn't give a notice. No, I quit that day. That decision was scary since I had no other job in mind at the time. It wasn't convenient and it was not comfortable making that decision, but the alternative was just not acceptable to me. So I was pushed by the pain of my situation to make a change. Within a month of leaving that job, I discovered a life coach named Mary Morrissey. I found her programs were starting to change my life in ways that were very positive. When I was presented with Mary's life coaching program, I knew that I wanted to take that step. I have found that when I teach principles, it is much easier for me to stay immersed in them and to implement them. So I enrolled and went through a rigorous training process to become certified as a Dream Builder life coach. And I even went on further to do another training with Mary, and that was called Life Mastery Consulting. Yes, so I have 5 programs that I can coach people through. It is so rewarding having all of these skills and helping people with these skills. Now, what's your next big dream? Imagine how you will feel when your dream becomes your reality. In the Dream Builder program, there are 10 principles that will skyrocket your success when you apply them to your life. Today, you will learn 3 of these principles that you can apply right now to help you create a life that you love. Here's my promise to you. I will give you the best that I can in the time we have together. And at the end of this presentation, many of you will want to take this information further and integrate it into your life. And I have a special gift that I'm going to give you at the end of the presentation, and I think you will love it. We are constantly creating results in our lives. We create results in two different ways. The first way is by default. Now, this way means that we are living our lives out of patterns. We get up, we do the same thing, we respond the same way. Maybe certain things trigger us off and we always get upset and blow up. We are living our life out of default. Now, the other way that we can live our life is through design. And this is what we do with the Dream Builder program. We design a life that we absolutely love. Yes, we do. Now, let's learn to expand your awareness for success in the areas of life that matter to you. There are 4 major domains of life in which we experience our results. The first area is in our health and well-being. The second area is in our love and relationships. The third area is our vocation. And the fourth area is time and money freedom. Everybody has results in each of these areas right now. The results that you are getting in your life in these areas are a perfect reflection of your awareness in these areas. Now, for me, I wanted to focus on relationships. I did not have awareness of what was blocking the closeness between me and my children. Now, 3 weeks into this coaching, I have made huge progress in seeing the blocks, becoming aware of the blocks, getting rid of the blocks. Yes. So this is what we do in the Dream Builder program. And sometimes as a coach, I need to go outside of my realm of what I know because I can't see what I need to correct. I can't see what I can't see. I need someone from the outside to help me see what I can't see. And that's what I'll be doing for you. I'll be helping you to see what you can't see. Let's expand your awareness together by studying the pattern that creates your results, or what I call the results formula. First, we have thoughts in our mind. These thoughts cause us to feel certain feelings. Our feelings propel us to take actions, and the actions give us our results, or we could say our experiences. Now, there is another level that I want to talk to you about that is not on the screen. And this level I learned about in the Compassion Key training that I did last year. And that level is where all of our wounding and all of our patterns reside. And we cannot always see our own patterns. We have buried a lot of our wounds quite deep because they're so painful, and we just want to leave them down there and not ever have to think about them again. But the wounds actually attract our results. They do. They operate. Say you have a wound of abandonment. It's inside of you. It has a certain vibration, and like attracts like. So your abandonment pattern will attract more situations to you where you feel abandoned. It's just the way it works. We can't get around it. It's a law of the universe. And so that level in this results formula is so key to understanding. Now, in my coaching, I do Compassion Key with people so that we can get at those old, painful wounds, because what the wounds do is they absolutely set up the pattern. Yeah, we feel so hurt by the abandonment, and then we set up this abandonment pattern. So, such good information to know. Our thoughts give us our results, and our results never lie. Our patterns give us our results, and our results never lie. So if you want to know what you have been thinking, look at your results. If you want to know what your damaging patterns are, look at the results you're having in your life. We want to create new results. Yes, we do. This is the first brave thinking tool that I want to introduce you to, and it's this notice what you're noticing. We really want to activate this tool, and I'm going to help you to do that by doing a short exercise. So if you will just close your eyes and put your attention on your feet, they're on the floor. Now, move your attention up to your calves. Next, move your attention to your knees. And now notice your thighs. Notice your hips and your abdomen. Now notice your chest and your lungs and your heart. Next, notice your neck. And now move your attention up to your head and notice what you're thinking. This is where we really want to use this tool. We want to notice what we're noticing in our thinking. So you can open your eyes. Yeah, you may have had thoughts going through your mind like, oh, this exercise is so dumb, or I don't even know what Dawn's talking about. To notice these thoughts as they fly through your mind. Because if you don't notice them, you can't change them. So we want to notice what we're noticing. Next, we're going to do a life assessment. You'll need something to write with and some paper. You might be a person who doesn't know what your dream is. You just know that there's something more out there for you. Or maybe you have lots of dreams and you don't know whether to choose one or create them all at once. Every one of us has a dream inside of us somewhere. We are going to start with our health and well-being area. You might be a person who feels stuck in your ability to transform your health. Maybe you have relatively good health, no symptoms, but you know there's more vibrancy and aliveness that you could feel. Now, I am going to give you 1 minute. And what I want you to do with that minute is to write down 1 or 2 things that you notice about your health and well-being area. Ready, write. There are 15 seconds left. Okay, time is up. The next thing I invite you to do is to give yourself a rating on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being your health is vibrant and you just feel fabulous. So give yourself a 5 if you're feeling really, really good. Now, if you are really struggling right now with your health, put yourself a 1, give yourself a 1 or anywhere in between that continuum. Okay, great. Next, we're going to go on to love and relationships. You might be a person who longs to have a beautiful, deep, fun, and passionate relationship with a loving and caring partner. Or maybe you would love to deepen, expand, and just have more fun with the relationship that you're already in. Okay, we're going to take 1 minute and write down what you're noticing in this area. I actually want you to choose a relationship. It could be with your spouse, it could be with a parent, it could be with a child, it could be with a friend. Choose one relationship and write down 1 or 2 things you're noticing about that. Ready, go. There are 15 seconds left. Okay, time is up. And now give yourself a rating on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being everything is just so open. I feel connected. It's loving. We're kind. We're generous. We're doing good. 1 is you're not satisfied at all with the way things are going. Okay, great. Now we are going on to the vocation part of your life. This is how we express ourselves in the world. You might be a person who feels stuck in a job you don't like, just like I was. Maybe you like your work, but you work too many hours and you want more time freedom. So take 1 minute and write down 1 or 2 things that you're noticing in your vocation. Ready, go. There are 15 seconds left. Okay. And now give yourself a rating on a scale of 1 to 5. Where are you at? And moving on to our final area, time and money freedom. You might be a person who feels out of balance, like you have more time than money or more money than time. and you'd like to feel more in harmony. I love that word, harmony. That is a really good place to be living, in harmony, in serenity. Okay, take 1 minute and write down 1 or 2 things you're noticing in this area. Ready, go. There are 15 seconds left. Okay, time is up. And finally, give yourself a rating on a scale of 1 to 5 where you feel you are at in this area. I want to commend you for doing this assessment. It takes courage to look at our lives and really hone in on the parts that we're not satisfied with. Oftentimes, we just don't want to look at it. We don't want to deal with it. We don't want to delve into it. But today you did. So thank you for doing that. So we assessed all these areas. Good job. This brings us to the first principle of dream building, which is designing your dream. I want to share some quotes with you about dreaming and about visioning. The first one is from the Dalai Lama. In order to carry a positive action, we develop here a positive vision. This quote is from the Bible. It's from the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, people perish. This is how imperative it is for us to have a vision, because without it, we perish. We just kind of dwindle away. We decline. People with goals succeed because they know where they are going. They know where they want to get to. That's from Earl Nightingale. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. C.S. Lewis said that. Every great dream begins with a dreamer by Harriet Tubman. And finally, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams by Eleanor Roosevelt. The one word that I want to point out to you in this quote is the word believe. We really need to believe in our dream. We need to have faith that that dream will manifest for us. We don't want to be waffling around and, oh, I don't know if it's ever going to come true. And no, we need to be in solid belief that our dream will come. It's really important. So what do you want? What would you love for your life? What vision would you love? What we do in the Dream Builder program is that we get clear. And why do we get clear? We get clear because clarity gives us power. Without a clearly defined blueprint, you cannot build your dream. Just like you must have a clear blueprint if you want to build a house. The same is true for your dream. When you become clear on what it is you really want in life, you begin to see opportunities, circumstances, and resources that you would have otherwise missed. Remember, our brave thinking tool number 1 is to notice what you're noticing. We want to notice what we're thinking. We also want to notice opportunities. We also want to notice resources. We could have walked by something for days and days and days and not seen it. And when we get into more awareness, we would walk by it again and see it for the first time, even though it's been there for days. It might be something posted on a billboard, or who knows what it might be. But these are the recognitions that we want to pay attention to. So let's design the blueprint for your dream and let's make it crystal clear. Consider the 4 domains of your life: your health and well-being, your love and relationships, your vocation, and your time and money freedom. For our purposes today, choose one area that you would love to improve the most. So just have that area in your mind. And we are going to do another exercise. And it has to do with asking a high quality question, because the quality of our life is determined by the questions that we ask. This is our high quality question that we want to ask ourselves. And this is brave thinking tool number 2. What would I love? What would I love? What would I love that would be in alignment with my morals and my values? We don't want to go off and pick something that's going to derail us and get us into deep and serious trouble. No, we want to choose something that we love that's in alignment with our values and our morals. Now, I want you to imagine like you were a child where nothing was impossible. No dream that you had was out of reach. Notice that the question of what would I love is very different compared to the question of what do I think I can do? This is a very limiting question. Like we're like, I wonder what I can do. No, we want to move beyond what we think we can do, because we actually have much more capability than we realize. We talked about that earlier, and we're tapping into that capability. Another question that is disempowering: what does my current situation say that I can do? We do not want to look to our circumstances and get permission for our dream. No, we don't. We absolutely want to focus on what would I love? Now, the next question is very, what do I want to say? It weakens you. It weakens your power. It weakens your will. This is the question: what do other people think I should do? No, do not ask that question. Do not run out and start asking other people, well, what do you think I should do? I don't really know what I should do. What do you think I should do? They don't know what is best for you. Stop handing your power over to other people by asking this question. No, we want to ask ourselves the question and find the answer from us. We're the ones that know what's best for us. No one else knows that answer. You can confer with God about it. God will give you insights. Your team is you and God, not you and your friend, or you and your sister, or you and your mother. No, your team is you and God. Okay. Now, I want to caution you about asking why and when questions. When you start your question with the word why, you end up in a place of victimhood. So just listen to this question. Why did that have to happen to me? Oh yeah, that is all about victimhood. And we are all just one question away from victimhood. So be very aware of that. The other way you start a question that is detrimental is using the word when. When am I ever going to get to my dream? When is it ever going to show up? Remember when you were kids in the car going on a trip with your parents? When are we ever going to get there? Stop whining about that. Whining and complaining are the language of the devil. And we do not want to be talking the devil's language. No, we want to stay uplifted. We want to stay hopeful. We want to stay in faith. And so these are things to be aware of when we are thinking our thoughts and when we are speaking our words. Yes. Now, let's go back to our empowering question. I want you to ask the question, what would I love in this one area of my life that you picked out? What would you love? Now, I am going to take you through a process called the time machine. Imagine you are getting into a time machine and traveling 3 years into the future. And 3 years from now, everything you wanted completely worked out. So we are going to need something to write with and paper again. On your paper, I invite you to write this beginning of a sentence. I am so happy and grateful now that. So go ahead and write that out. All right. Now, in this exercise, you're going to complete that sentence, your paragraph, your story in this area. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to write out that dream, that vision. I'm going to ask you to suspend any urge to figure out how this result is going to happen. We don't need to focus on the how now. That all unfolds as we go along on our way to our dream. Simply think about and dream about what you would love, as if someone gave you the power to create exactly what you want. Now, I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose, and then breathe out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. Again, in through your nose, going out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. This type of breathing calms down the nervous system, and then that allows us to get into the creative side of our brain. Now, imagine that it is 3 years from now. It is 2026, and all challenges are solved. Consider what you would love for your life. What great things are occurring for you? If you couldn't fail, what experiences are you having? Who are you with? See it. How does it feel? Now, open your eyes and take 2 minutes and write as much as you can, painting a beautiful picture of the life you are imagining. Ready, go. There are 15 seconds left. Okay, time is up. Good job. Now, this vision in this area of your life it's a document that you can add to. You can change it. It's not permanent. We may take a step, towards our dream. And just for an example of that, when I quit my job at the school, I thought I'm gonna have my own school. I'm gonna literally go out and figure out how to make my own school. So I looked for a space, I found a space, and as I was going along, I thought, you know what? That's not really what I want. It was a way for me to let go of my job because I really did love the kids and I loved the teaching part with the kids. So having the dream that I could do a school by myself, was just a way for me to let go. And when I recognized that, I pivoted away from it. And what did I find? I found Mary Morrissey. I did. Yes. So, yes. Or maybe I found her first. I can't remember anymore. But anyway, my message for you is we can change this document. Now, at the bottom of this document, I would like you to add this. So go ahead. This is something even better still. Okay, wonderful. The reason that we add this at the end is because we want to keep our dream open. We're visioning from where we are right now. In 2 weeks, we might see more opportunities and we go, well, wait a second. I think I really want this instead, just like I did. It's like, oh, I'd rather, step into more of Mary's programs and go into some coaching training. Okay. So we want to leave this open. We want to say to God, God, this is something even better still. I can't see it all right now, but you know what? As I go along, you will make me aware of it. I will become aware of it. I'll see more clues. I'll see more signs. I'll see what feels even better still. See how wonderful that feels? Just leaving it open. Yes. Good job. So that is designing your dream. Now, as we go through the Dream Builder program, it's a 12-week program. We are going to spend much more time on this area, but you get a synopsis of what we are going to be doing in that area. So we can check that one off, and we are going on to principle number 2, and that is deciding for your dream. Best-selling author and life coach Bob Proctor said this: there is a simple mental move you can make, which in a millisecond will solve enormous problems for you. It has the potential to improve almost any personal or business situation you will ever encounter, and it could literally propel you down the path to incredible success. We have a name for this mental activity, and it is called decision. Thank you, Bob. Bob was such an amazing coach. I was so blessed to be coached by him. And why did I get to be coached by him? I didn't buy any of his programs, but when Mary would go on vacation, she would often have Bob Proctor fill in for her. And so I got to have him coach me several times. Just an amazingly powerful coach. You must make a firm decision for what it is you want before you will bring your dream into reality. I talked about this before. We can't waffle around in indecision about, I don't really know if I want that or not, or we don't want to waffle around or slide down into discouragement, thinking, oh, I don't think I can get it, so forget it. No, we want to make a firm decision that this is my dream and I'm going for it. That's the empowering stance we want to take. So we want to decide for new results. And this is actually an action step. When you decide, this is an action step that we can take to get us out of our old results. I have a story for you to help you understand how the Dream Builder program changed Judy's life. Judy did not have much education. She worked in a fast food restaurant during the day and did alterations as a seamstress at night. She lived in a tiny one-bedroom apartment with her 2 children. Her dream was to have a home for her family. Judy came across a program much like the one I am talking about today. She decided that if she was ever going to change her life, that she needed support. So she took a huge leap and made a decision for her dream and enrolled in the Dream Builder program. This was a really tough thing for Judy to do, but she got up her courage. She made the decision to change her life. Now, when they got started, she told her coach that her dream was to own her own home, but that she only had $500 a month for rent. Judy truly believed there was no way that she could ever buy or rent a house for $500 a month. Her coach asked her to describe the house she dreamed of, but Judy had great difficulty doing that. It was a real struggle, but eventually Judy did come up with a description of her dream house. But she kind of hung out in the area of, oh, I don't think I'll ever get that house because it's going to be too much money. Now, knowing how dreams can come true, Judy's coach said to Judy, now that you have a mental picture of the house, go out and look for it. This is where coaches are so important. Yes, they lead you to the next step to do so you don't fall into giving up. Judy thought this was crazy to go out and look for a house, but after some pondering about the whole thing, after all, she did hire the coach. Are you coachable? If you are, then you'll listen to what they're guiding you to do, right? So she went out searching, and after 2 weeks, she found the house of her dreams. But when she called her coach, she said, it's $900 a month rent, and I can't afford it. Now, had Judy been on her own, that would have been the end of it. She probably would have given up on the whole idea. But her coach knew the language. Remember the language of success? She knew the mindset, what thoughts to think. And she knew the questions to ask, the empowering questions. So the coach asked Judy, if you didn't know it was impossible and you really thought there was a chance, what would you do? What would you do if it was possible? At first, Judy just couldn't even wrap her mind around this question. But after a week, she really got to work on the question and said, okay, what would I do if I thought it was possible? And here's the beauty of asking questions. When you ask a question, you will get an answer. It's the way God designed life for us. You ask a question, the answer comes. It may come in a song, it may come in a book, a friend may tell you something. We don't know where the answer is going to come from, but that's the fun of this all. Anyway, she did get her answer, and here's what it was. She decided she would write a letter to the owner and explain her situation. In her letter, Judy described 40 things she personally would do to improve the home if the owner would provide the materials and rent to her for $500 a month. Good idea, right? Excellent idea. Well, 3 weeks later, Judy got a call from the homeowner, and he said, I don't know why I'm doing this, but something in your letter just won't leave me alone. Here's the deal. You sign a contract outlining what you will do every quarter, and I'll let you live in the house for 1 year for $500 a month. Amazing how that owner of the house was nagged by Judy's letter. That owner had full price rentals from several other people, but he didn't take them. He reached out to Judy. This is the beauty of designing a dream, because people line up to help you with achieving your dream. This is how dream building works. So Judy was moving in 30 days. Such an amazing thing. But it doesn't end there. Over the course of the year, Judy did everything she promised the owner that she would do. And within 3 years, Judy owned that house. Her dream had come true. She had the home of her dreams for her family. And she learned a new way of thinking thanks to her coach. This new way of brave thinking also got her a different career. Judy started her own home-based business, and she got to spend more time with her children while her income soared. Her life had a whole new meaning. And yours can too. It starts with making a decision. It starts by saying to yourself, today is the day I'm going after my dream. Today is the day I say no to all the doubts and all the reasons why it won't work. And I say yes to all the possibilities and opportunities out there for me. You decide for new results. Go ahead and read this slide. I'm always amazed by this slide. I can read it like it's typed perfectly. Why is that? Well, because of the research. If we know the beginning letter, we know the ending letter, and the middle's all jumbled up, our mind still figures that word out. Now, the reason I wanted you to read this slide is because our dream is kind of like a jumbled up word. We know the beginning of our dream because it's right where we are now. We know the end of our dream because we just visioned up that's one part of our life. So we know the ending. And in the middle, it's all jumbled up, all uncertain, it's all unknown, but it doesn't matter. We can still get to the dream, not knowing every step along the way. Yes, we can. We decide for new results. Where we are now and where we want to be, which is what we would love. And in the middle, we have the how. We talked about setting the how off to the side because it reveals itself as we go along. So we're going to put a strike through it. Yes, we are. And we're going to move on to principle number 3, which is befriending your fear. We all probably know when we do something new, fear rises up. It's just the way we operate. When we get out of our comfort zone, we feel unsettled, we feel uncertain, we feel apprehensive. That is our fear rising up. Now, what I'm talking about as far as befriending your fear is to do the thing you really want to do, even though your fear rises up. We want to recognize that, oh, there's my fear. That means I'm getting out of my comfort zone. That means I'm moving in the right direction. I'm getting closer to my dream. We want to make fear our friend. Now, there are certain things, certain thoughts that will rise up in our mind that come from our patterns. This is the first one. Yeah, right. That isn't going to happen. Okay, there's the voice of discouragement. How are you ever going to do that? We might hear, where are you ever going to find the time? Where are you going to get the money? Where are all of these phrases coming from? Here's another one. Who do you think you are? You don't have what it takes. These voices can be so nasty. And where are these voices coming from? They're coming from our paradigms. Or another thing we can say instead of paradigms is our patterns. Our wounding created these patterns, remember? And so they're going to show up when we start moving forward. And we might think, oh, there's that ridiculous thought again. It always gets in my way. But I want you to look at this a little bit different. I want you to look at it and say, oh, there's that thought. And here's the beauty of my coaching style. I have this compassion key, which is so effective. When these thoughts come up, we do the compassion key and we get rid of these wounded thoughts from our past. And those thoughts don't come up anymore once you heal the wound. And that's what we do in the compassion key. We heal the wound and it dissolves the pattern. It is so beautiful. Yes. Now, I want to talk about some patterns that I see over and over again with people. The first one is sounding like this. Okay, the voice, that nasty voice, this is what it might sound like. Now is not a good time. Just wait till later. This is absolutely the pattern of delay. People put personal growth off. People put off things that are good for them into the future. They put it off. If you have the thought that something's going to help you, something's going to improve your life, what causes you to put it off? It's this paradigm of delay. Well, I'll do it later. You know, it's too busy right now. Fine. You could have like 30 excuses of why you have to put it off. It's the pattern of delay. Okay, here's another one. The nasty voice will say, you don't have the money for that. That is so irresponsible. Okay, so this is the pattern of shame. You're absolutely shaming yourself. How could you ever be so awful and irresponsible to think that you could afford that? Such a shaming, horrible thought. Shame is the lowest vibrating feeling that we can have. We do not want to have any shame vibrating in us. So we really want to get rid of that when that comes up. Okay, the last pattern is the pattern of I'm not good enough. This is such a common pattern. It is so detrimental. It's so damaging. It keeps us stuck. And it sounds like this. You don't have the experience or the credentials. Who are you to have that dream? You're not good enough to have that dream. You know, everybody else, you know, somebody else can have that dream, but you can have that dream. You can't have it. You're not good enough to have it. So damaging, so demeaning. We need to get rid of these horrible thoughts because they're in the way between you and your dream. There is a determined part of you. At the same time, there is another part of you that asks this question: what if I fail? Okay, what if you do fail? How many of us have had failures in our lives? We all have. We all have. Okay, if we think we're gonna beat failure, we're deluding ourselves. We've all had failures. We all started out as non-walkers, but we learn to walk by falling down. We would fall down when we're learning to walk. So here's the thing, when we get to be adults, a lot of us don't give ourselves permission to make a mistake. I hate making mistakes, but you know what? When we're learning something new, We're going to make mistakes. We have to give ourselves the grace to make a mistake and correct. We just need to be gentle with ourselves and say, okay, that didn't work out so good. How can I correct it? We learn from our mistakes. We learn from the good things too, but we also can learn from our mistakes. So give ourselves permission to fail enough to succeed. And there are a lot of people that, were told all sorts of things about, they're not going to make it, but they did. Fear and failure can be prerequisites for achieving great dreams. So when the voice of doubt questions you and says, what if I fail? Let your response be, I might fail, but if I do, I'm just going to get back up and I'm going to keep going. I tell myself a lot, I'm going after this thing. I'm doing this thing. I have another business that I just started in April. I remind myself, I'm going after this. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. So befriending your fear. Parts of you want to go forward and parts of you want to stay right where you are or play small. And in the middle is fear. We are going to treat that just like we did the how, not today. We can put it out and say, you know what, fear, I see you. Let me check in with you in 3 days. And oftentimes the fear has just gone away by then because you worked through it. There are two companions that come with fear, and they are doubt and worry. We are going to treat them the same way, put them off to the side, put them on hold, and instead we are going to put our attention on our dream. And we are going to take action steps towards that dream. The action steps get you out of the fear and worry, because when you're in fear and worry, you're kind of constricted and you're kind of like immobilized. But once you start to take actions and move towards the direction of your dream, the fear and worry and doubt all kind of falls off to the side. So this is the beauty of action steps. Now, take a look at your dream. I really want you to think about one action step that you can take that will get you closer to your dream. So take a few seconds to write down an action step. Okay, great. Now pick a date and a time for your action step and put it in your calendar. So go ahead. Putting this action step in your calendar is a promise to yourself that you are going to do it. You're going to do this thing. You're going to take this action step. You're going to do it. Progress is more important than perfection. None of us are going to get it perfect. So even taking the smallest step moves you closer to your dream. And when you take a step, you're in a new place and you see different things. You see opportunities. You see options. You see resources. It's beautiful. Now, before we get to 3 keys to mastering your results, I want to give you brave thinking tool number 3. And this is do what you can with what you have from where you are. So do what you can, that's the action step. So we all can do something. We could research something, call a friend, we could say a prayer, we could do a multitude of things, okay? Do what you can with what you have. We all have our capacity where we are right now. And we're all in this spot from where you are. So here is brave thinking tool again. Do what you can with what you have from where you are. All right. To recap, 3 keys to mastering your results: designing your dream, deciding for your dream, and befriending your fear. These are just 3 of the 10 steps. And I hope they were beneficial to you. I really want you to know that you are worthy of your dream and a life that you absolutely love. Yes, you are. Now, as we come to a close, here's the gift I promised you. It's a special gift for those of you who are ready to take action on your dream. And it may be just accepting this gift that I am giving you. And that is to schedule a visioning session with me. These are 45 to 60-minute phone conversations where we get clear on exactly where you are and what you would love to create and what your next most important steps are. Yes. So you can send me a message through Facebook. That's the best way to find me. And I will get back to you so we can set that up. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Remember, as you walk back into your life, know that what is inside of you is far greater than any challenge that you are facing. You have incredible power within you. This is your moment. Today is your day to take bold action. And just know that I believe you can. I didn't come this far to only come this far, did you? If life is still breathing you, life is not done with you yet because something magnificent is happening with you. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you.